Hippocrates was a Greek physician who was born on the island of Kos in the Aegean Sea in 460 BC. Hippocrates lived during the time of Pericles, a period when most people considered illness to be a superstition and a punishment from the gods. Hippocrates explained that all diseases had a natural explanation. He founded the very first intellectual school, the Hippocratic school, dedicated to the teaching of medical sciences. As such, he is widely recognized as the father of medicine. Hello, my name is Richard and you are on my channel, Best Quotes. I encourage you to leave us your comments, and most importantly, to subscribe to be kept informed of new videos full of wisdom. Hippocrates is credited with a compilation of writings, which present a rudimentary understanding of how the body works, and the nature of disease. It is a collection of over 60 medical works known as the Hippocratic Corpus, considered to be the oldest texts on medicine. Because of the different styles of writing, and differences in vocabulary, the diversity of topics covered and the contradictions in doctrines, scholars consider that the Hippocratic Corpus cannot have come from a single person, and that these books were probably written by his students and disciples. It is in the Hippocratic Corpus that the very famous Hippocratic Oath is found, to which physicians still refer today. Hippocrates is generally credited with developing the theory of the four humors. The doctrine of the four humors would become one of the pillars of medicine for 2,000 years. This theory made it possible to understand a totally obscure inner world. The four humors were fluids present in the body: blood, phlegm, yellow bile, and black bile. They were put in correspondence with the 4 seasons of the year: yellow bile with summer, black bile with autumn, phlegm with winter, and blood with spring. These 4 humors had to be in balance, so that individuals could remain in good health. I now invite you to discover the most famous quotes of Hippocrates. To heal sometimes, to treat often, to comfort always. Wherever the art of medicine is loved, there is also a love of humanity. The greatest medicine of all is teaching people not to need it. If you are not your own doctor, you are a fool. Walking is man's best medicine. Let your food be your medicine and your medicine be your food. The doctor heals, but nature heals. A wise man must realize that health is his most precious possession. The natural healing force in each of us is the greatest force for recovery. If someone wants good health, he must first ask himself if he is willing to remove the reasons for his illness. Only then is it possible to help them. Diseases don't just fall on us out of the blue. They are built up from small daily sins against nature. When enough sins have accumulated, diseases will suddenly appear. Men should know that from the brain, and from the brain only, come our pleasures, joys, laughter and jokes, as well as our sorrows, pains, grief and tears. Men think that epilepsy is divine, simply because they do not understand it. We will one day understand what causes it, and then we will stop calling it divine. And so it is with everything in the universe. Doing nothing is sometimes a good remedy. There are actually 2 things: science and opinion. The first begets knowledge, the second ignorance. Life is short, art long, opportunities fleeting, experience uncertain, and judgment difficult. Extreme remedies are very appropriate for extreme diseases. Anyone who wants to study medicine must do this. First, consider the seasons of the year and what effect each season has. Each of the substances in a man's diet acts upon his body and changes it in some way, and upon these changes depends his whole life. The human soul develops until the moment of death. Older people have fewer diseases than younger people, but their diseases never leave them. Art has three factors: the disease, the patient, the doctor. The doctor is the servant of the art. The patient must cooperate with the doctor to fight the disease. Who could have predicted, from the structure of the brain, that wine could disturb its functions? All excesses are contrary to nature. It is more prudent to proceed gradually, especially when going from one diet to another. Where prayer, amulets and incantations work, it is only a manifestation of the patient's belief. The famous Hippocratic Oath is a document about the practice, ethics, and morality of medicine. The Hippocratic Oath is a timeless legacy that still serves as a moral guide for physicians today. Although it is no longer enforced in its original form today, the many modernized versions serve as the basis for the oath, which medical graduates take at the beginning of their careers. Thank you for watching the most beautiful quotes from Hippocrates, and I invite you to subscribe to be informed when our next videos are released. In the meantime, I suggest you click here to discover new inspiring quotes full of wisdom.